will do almost anything as I work my way up the YouTube car camping food chain, including sleeping with other YouTubers. Today I'm doing my first big collaboration with a bigger YouTube channel, and my anxiety is off the charts. Will I find a good first come first serve campsite in a place I've never been before? And will this YouTuber actually show up? And what are we gonna talk about all night? Whoa. Note to self, press record after hitting all the speed bumps. Hello, my beautiful people. My name is Diane, and I am an older lady trying to live life before it's too late. This summer, I went on an amazing 30-day adventure, and I loved it, and I could have stayed out longer, but I have a husband, and he wants me to be home once in a while, so we're still trying to work that out. Anyway, so yes, I am super excited today because I am going to be collaborating with someone very special in the van life niche. She happens to be in the area, and so we connected, and we're gonna meet up, and we're gonna do a little camping overnight adventure together. And I'm stoked. I just got back from Vid Summit, which is a YouTuber professional conference where you go to learn how to be a better YouTuber. They had some of the top YouTubers in the business there, Mr. Beast, Ryan Trahan, that guy Matt, Colin and Samir. I mean, so many big names. So I'm jazzed and pumped to be making another video. We are going to the supermarket to pick up a few supplies. I found a campground that I think is gonna be nice. And yeah, I'm actually paying for a campground, but it's cheap. Never tried it before. Hope it works out. Hope it's not ugly. You know, she's kind of trusting me to pick something pretty and nice, so I hope I don't screw this up. And if I don't make this collaboration work, I will never make it as a YouTuber. Take two. Yeah. Take three. If I don't succeed with this collaboration, I will be the most uncool car life, van life YouTuber on the planet. So, the stakes are high. Okay, got a couple of items for dinner and dessert, and most importantly, got some beer. We're doing a whole beer tasting tonight. It's about 45 minutes to our destination, so here we go. It is a cool 64 degrees today, which means it's gonna be in the 30s tonight. Very, very cold. I've lived here, I don't think I've ever driven out this way. This is where we're off the beaten path. Look how pretty this is. Okay, I need to put something out here because I want this place. All right. I found a spot. It looked amazing. It has a meadow and it's kind of by itself. And I didn't even drive around and see every other spot because it was so awesome. I just grabbed it. I'm pretty proud of this. Look, 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 look. So pretty. There's a meadow. There's my car. And I happened to see the park ranger who said that we can have a fire, which is great. Okay, not 100% sure that this aesthetic idea with the curtains is going to work out or not. They're too long and I don't know. The truth is, this table is so slanted, I'm not even sure it'll hold a drink. For our collaborator, we are chilling in the hammock. Weather's perfect. We are reading. We're trying to be better at YouTube, and we have broken into the local beers. This is the Pale Ale by AUDIBLE. They're a local brewery here in Truckee and Incline. Okay, Chicken Chin Wrinkles are showing here. The YouTuber who I will be sleeping with, she's running late. So I've given you 2 hints so far. She's a van lifer and she loves beer. Can you guess who it is? So while I waited, I took a little time to explore the meadow and check out the spring next door. Hello, hello!
At first I was going to back in, but then I was like, no, I'll pull it.
Wherever you want to park. So my phone intermittently does this weird thing where it takes normal video and then inexplicably drops into slow motion, which sounds like this. And of course it happened right at the moment Maddie arrived. Welcome to the best campsite in the whole place.
What a cool view.
So as Maddie got set up, I got the local beer tasting ready to go. Oh yeah, it's so pretty.
So, if you watch our channels, you know that both Maddie and I loved beer. So, I gathered up a bunch of local beers. We're gonna taste them and see what she thinks. The first beer is the Pale Ale from AUDIBLE. The next one we're gonna try is called the Simtra.
Foamy.
I love it. It is the Peanut Butter Stout.
I love how different they all look.
The different colors.
Beer is so cool.
Yeah, I know, I love beer.
Yes. Thank you so much. That's good. Very light.
Oh my God, this one's good. It's like butterscotch or something in there.
Now that you say that, I taste the maltiness.
Is that what it is? I meant to watch a how to taste beer video before we met because I fake my way through these things all the time. So the maltiness, is that what gives it its flavor?
Yeah, like smooth and sweet.
Yeah.
Thick, kind of, if that
Yes.
makes sense. I definitely smell the peanut butter. I think I remember seeing that in stores and being curious about it. Thank you for the beer tasting. So now that we've tried our beers, we're having a good conversation and we need to get this on camera. How do you define yourself?
So because I don't have a van, it's car life.
Okay.
And there's actually a whole genre of YouTubers out there that live in their car and do videos. So that's my, it's like a subset of van life. Van life's cooler because it's roomier.
When did you get the idea to start that?
Well, I have been watching full-time RVers and van lifers for years. Years. Okay, I've been watching them, and I was always that weird kid. I was an only child, and I used to roam around the neighborhood exploring. Like, I just wanted to see what was down by the canal. I wanted to go see what was at the end of the peninsula. I wanted to see what was around the bend. And my parents took me backpacking when I was really young, and that opened up a whole new world. And I just love the beauty of this world, and I really wanted to see it. And so that's kind of the overarching thing. But someone really close to me passed away last Christmas, on Christmas Day. And so it was just one of those moments where you're like, life is short. You could be dead tomorrow. Now's the time to live. And I'm a little bit older. My kids are grown. So I'm at that change of life where it's like, okay, I gave all my life to these people and this endeavors, and I don't regret it or anything, and it was wonderful. But now it's like, okay, I don't have much time left on my timeline. What do I want to do? And so that's kind of what I think it was, the death of that person combined with aging out. That's like, I want to go explore the world and see the beauty in this world before it's too late.
Yeah, that's so cool, because a lot of that, like growing up as a kid that wanted to explore a lot and having that mindset of life is short, that's pretty much the same with me too. For a while, I heard of people living in a van, and I was like, oh, like why would you do that kind of old way of thinking. But then once I saw pictures of people like building it out, I was like, oh, okay, that's a good idea.
So how old were you when you were thinking about this lifestyle, or what was the trigger for you that made you think like van life wasn't so bad after all?
Man, I think it was in the back of my mind in my late 20s, and then the pandemic hit. I think I was 28 maybe, or 27 when it first started, but being on the internet for so long, I was looking up pictures and was like, okay, now's the time, because international travel was restricted, and I was like, this is a way, like, I don't have to go into hotels, I can still travel and have my own space and be in the outdoors when I'm in the outdoors, when it's time to go inside, go into my own van.
So one of the things that people always want to know is, how do you afford to do this? Because you've been doing it for a year and a half now. Like, how do you get the money to keep going?
Just my food delivery job.
Yeah.
Which is really good because, like I'm following my bank account, like it's looking pretty low, especially after that big hike I went on. So I'm like, okay, need to work for a little bit and then build it up. You're
basically just doing the gig economy.
Yeah. Definitely.
And you're able to find enough work to make it work.
Exactly. Do what you can while you can.
While you have your health. What's interesting is that, so I have a new channel, and it's doing pretty well, and some really awesome people have showed up to, support and comment and stuff. And one of the common comments I get is that, I'm older now and I can't go out. I can't do the things because help. You get old, you get frail, things break down. I mean, that's starting in your 50s. Everyone is just going to start falling apart slowly. And there are older people who watch my channel who are like, yeah, it's great you're doing this now while you still can, because I can't do it anymore. So it's fun to watch through you. So it's like reinforcing, because yeah, I'm glad I'm doing this now while I can, and sharing it with other people, because I learned so much watching YouTubers like you and, other hikers out there doing things. So it's just giving back in a way.
That's really such a cool part of YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah.
Feeling like you're actually helping people, not just like, look, here's what I did, but people are like, oh, okay, cool.
That's what I love about it. It becomes a conversation. I mean, you can have any weird hobby or interest, and there's some other group of people out there that share the same weird hobby or interest. You're not alone. And that's part of it's human connection. I think that's what's so great about YouTube. You can connect around pretty much any topic on YouTube. I mean, and that's the great thing about it. That's why I love the platform so much.
Yeah.
Obsessed.
I think while during most of 2020, I was like, I want to live in a van. I want to live in some type of vehicle. It was the moment when I typed in SUV living and I saw a video about someone living in their SUV that I was like, okay, I'm taking notes. I'm gonna try to do this.
Yeah.
And that moment of like, okay, I'm gonna try. I was like 90% committed, maybe. There was still time to back out, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna start taking steps. And that was so cool I think I commented on that video. This is the first step I'm taking to living in a vehicle.
Well, that's the great thing about YouTube. The way to realize a dream is to, first of all, kind of envision what it is you want. And then when you can go on a platform like this and see other people living that way or doing that thing, you realize, oh, this is possible.
Yeah.
And if you find someone like you, who's maybe young, or in my case, old, or a woman, or single, or married, or divorced, whatever the thing is, you see somebody living that dream or that thing, and you're like, well, if they can do it, I can do it. I mean, I've watched so many people build out their vans now, and it, I'm not that. I don't build things really. I'm not good at it, but I feel like I'm getting to the point where I've seen so many people do it. It's like, well, if I really had a vehicle that I wanted to alter and do things to, I could, because I can just, whatever, search on YouTube and find it and do it. And so it's inspiring. It becomes this like people helping people kind of thing. And then you start taking those steps, like you mentioned, like, well, maybe I'll just trade in my car for a minivan or whatever the next step is. And it's like, okay, now I've got this minivan. And well, maybe I'll change out the floor and tear out the seats and get a little cabinet and put a curtain on it and hide the things and buy a mattress, and pretty soon you're Maddie on the road. Going to every state and having a beer and an adventure in every state. This is gonna be so good.
Oh my gosh, remember the first night I had a fire when I was doing the Kennedy Meadows to Mammoth.
Aww. It was like such a magical thing because there were restrictions and you couldn't do it unless there was like a fire pit.
My parents actually met because they worked at Yellowstone.
This is what camping's all about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we should throw hamburgers on the grill.
Ooh, that's a great idea.
And then we stopped filming to be more present in the moment. Okay, so it's after midnight. And I've had the most wonderful time hanging out with Maddie. We talked about so many things, travels, YouTubing, just the best and worst of everything. I mean, it's just been amazing. And it's pretty cold out, but I think I'll be okay. Good night. Well, good morning. Condensation.
So if you could give someone considering car life, car living, that's still on the fence about do they want to commit to it? Is it best if they keep doing what they're doing? What advice would you give a person in that situation?
I would say try it out in small doses. So if all you have is a car, then plan one overnight camping somewhere. It doesn't have to be far away. Keep it close to your house as much as you can so that if it all goes wrong and you can't stand it, it's easy to bail and get back home. So definitely start with the one night and see how it goes. And then if you like it, then do 2 nights. And then if you still like it, do a week, and then if you still like it, maybe think about doing it longer or upgrading to a van or whatever. But yeah, just try it in small doses. Not everybody likes it.
Yeah.
Like it looked really great on YouTube, and then you're out there going, I hate this.
Definitely.
But I would put that question to you for van life. What would you tell people who are thinking about it? Because, a van is a little bit more of a commitment.
Yeah. And I didn't even have a car before this. This is actually the first vehicle I've ever owned. So I was really nervous. It's a big purchase. But I think what finally made me commit to it is just the thought that life is short. And you never know what's going to happen next. For some people, that knowledge that life is short, maybe that makes them want to keep doing what they're doing and spending time with their family having a house, like all that is good too, but for me, when I think about how, you know, no one knows what tomorrow is going to bring, that's what really made me be like, okay, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, I agree. And there's no right or wrong answer. I mean, some people love being in the same place and going to the same job and being with the same people, and they build really strong community roots that way.
I think sometimes people can be intimidated to start living in a vehicle because there's so much information out there, and you're like, you want to get it all right the first time, but
That'll never happen.
yeah, everyone has different preferences and different budgets, so just be prepared to not get it right the first time.
And there will be a lot of working it out. But that's kind of the fun of it too, working out your systems, you know, like, oh, this didn't work and that didn't work. And you don't need to spend a ton of money. I mean, some of the stuff you have, like an old pot or an old frying pan or whatever, just use what you have. And it's actually better to use what you have, because sometimes when you buy all this stuff that you think you need, and then you get out there and you're like, oh, I didn't really need all this.
And better for the environment too, to not buy new things.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, so I did it. Sleeping with YouTubers. Check that off my to-do list. Maddie was awesome to spend time with. It's really cool to see young people like that out there just doing what their heart calls them to do. And we had some great conversation. And yeah, I'm glad she was around. Wanted to meet up, and I'll be watching her on her future adventures. And now it's time to go home and live real life. There was so much good conversation cut out of this video in the interest of time, but if you'd like access to the entire interview, please consider joining this channel as a member, because honestly, ad revenue isn't cutting it, and it's my dream to keep creating better and better videos that are meaningful for you. Members will get access to bonus content that will never see the light of day on public YouTube.